Buonasera. My name is Konstantin. I'm one of the co-founders of BlueCart. I want to start by apologizing for not speaking in Italian. My dad was actually born in Rome, but unfortunately he only taught me the Italian that is screamed out the window. And that's not very useful when you're trying to give a presentation. So back to BlueCart. BlueCart started about 6 years ago. It was a grad school project in Georgetown between Jag and myself, where a restaurant chain that was growing nationally called us in to do an operations project. And we spent several weeks there watching how these restaurants did business, and we noticed that there was a tremendous problem in the way that they placed their orders at the end of every day. We had a manager that would spend literally 2 to 3 hours every single day calling, phone calls, faxes, emails, sending all those orders to all of their suppliers, that is produce, meats, alcohol, and then they would walk in the morning and call them all again just to find out if they received the orders on time, right? So at that point, Jag and I developed BlueCart. We decided to start running and participating in business school competitions, and we kept on winning these competitions. We were actually flown to national and international competitions, and by the time we graduated, we were faced with a decision whether we start BlueCart at that point or not, right? We decided to delay the decision. Both of us got full-time jobs. I actually went to Africa. I spent 3 years working in very rural Kenya and Uganda with 9,000 plus farmers. At that point, that's when it hit us that for BlueCart to be successful, we had to develop a platform that solved both sides of the equations, right? Like the needs of the buyers, those restaurants, and the needs of the suppliers, the farmers, right? So we decided to develop BlueCart for 3 years, and July 2014, we went live. The very basic problem that BlueCart is solving is a communications problem. The fact that, like I mentioned, restaurants have to use phone calls, faxes, emails to place all their orders, right? And suppliers have to manage orders coming in through all these different channels, aggregate them, and try to deliver these, right? So we set off to solve this very large problem. Some of the more sophisticated suppliers out there, they can actually invest in standing up their own mobile platform. But if you think 5 years down the line, right, what's going to happen is that we're going to have 17 different apps on our phones from each one of our suppliers, right? So we had to streamline that, aggregate all the ordering into a single platform, and provide a white label solution for suppliers to offer mobile ordering to all their buyers, yeah? The product is very, very simple, right? It's enabling buyers to communicate with all of their suppliers. Upon this communications channel, what we do is we build on that, and we offer these analytics as a subscription-based model to our users. So if they want to do inventory, or if they want to do their trucking routes, order aggregation, intelligent analytics, that's when we actually charge a subscription model. Otherwise, the platform is free. And it's free intentionally, right? We thought that technology should not be a barrier in competition. Technology should enable competition. Technology should empower farmers to compete against the big guys based on quality, based on service, right? Not just based on access to the best technologies out there. So we intentionally made it free. The solution is very straightforward. We have obviously analytics, order management, in-app messaging from buyers to sellers, as well as new clients connections, right? So somebody comes into the platform, connects with their suppliers, and immediately has online access and mobile access, as well as from a supplier, they can offer mobile ordering within 3.5 minutes. So I'll talk a little bit about our growth, but as you guys can imagine, the moment that you bring technology to a previously paper and pencil industry, there's tremendous efficiencies that this drives. Number one is we see a dramatic drop in the number of return orders, right? We see an increase in order frequency. And this is critically important, right? When people order frequently, they're able to run with leaner inventories. And leaner inventories translates into less waste, less theft, less perishability. So it's absolutely critical, not just for buyers, but also for sellers, to enable them to run with leaner inventories. And of course, the fact that the BlueCart is free, right, it removes all those headaches from suppliers thinking about they need to stand up their own mobile platform, they need to develop their own iOS mobile app, their own Android mobile app, that today, given the existence of BlueCart, that's just ludicrous, right? They should just come to BlueCart, upload their catalog, share their catalog with their existing buyers, and immediately offer mobile ordering, right? And here are some of the key trajectories for BlueCart over the last 16 months. And here are some of these metrics that make us go to sleep with a big smile. Over 96% of people who actually get to like see and touch our product end up using our product. Well over 96% of buyers who actually use the platform once end up transacting, and they're like retained into the platform. As you can imagine, once you start enjoying the benefits and the efficiencies from BlueCart, going the reverse way is very unpleasant, right? The next set of metrics is what sets us really apart, right? We've built this platform with an intentional network effect embedded into the product. What happens is that we get a supplier that jumps into the platform and immediately gives access to well over 200 new buyers, right? These buyers get an invitation, just like LinkedIn or Facebook. From there, they activate their account and drop into the environment where they can start purchasing, right? Once a buyer receives this invite, what happens is that then they connect with their existing buyers, so it's suppliers, right? So every time we get a new buyer, we get 9.4 new suppliers, and every time we get a new supplier, we get well over 200 new buyers. So, and this happens just by natural business processes, meaning, we don't have to like teach them a brand new behavior for them to share the platform for us. We have several thousand users in our platform. I'll show you a map in a second. But what's important here is that we're actually growing very, very fast. We're adding north of 1,400 new restaurants per month. That rate is increasing month after month. And importantly enough is that the aggregated order volume in our platform is being doubled quarter after quarter. This is really significant. Because it's outpacing our customer acquisition rate. What's happening is that our existing users are getting more and more and more engaged in the platform, yeah? Here are some interesting metrics on what we projected before our Series A investment. As you can imagine, when you seek external financing, they want to have a very, very good insight into like what your metrics will be. Yet, several months down the line, this is what we actually delivered. So the blue continues to be the projections, and the green is what we actually did. So we greatly outpaced our projections, which was a big surprise, and a very pleasant one, of course, not just to us, but also to our investors. Next, here you can see some of this network effect taking place across the US. We also have some users as well in Europe. Some of them are in Italy. But the fact is that we don't have people in every single one of these locations. What's happening is that we see people in different markets signing up for BlueCart and kickstarting this network effect. And this is the absolutely most important metric that we have internally, right? And we're growing very fast. We're signing up people very, very fast. Now, if they sign up and they leave as fast as they sign up, right? It's indicative that you're not solving that problem correctly. What we're seeing here is that when somebody comes into the platform, they like the way that we solve that problem, and as a result, continue to be more and more engaged over time in the platform, which is indicative of how well we solve that problem, right? In terms of how we monetize, like I mentioned, we use our network as our customer acquisition channel. It's not a brand new strategy. There's many other companies that have done it in the past. They essentially offer the network for free and they monetize upon it, right? Obviously, the other platforms are B2C, right? And as a result, they can afford to wait much longer. We're a B2B platform, and as a result, we're kicking in the monetization much, much sooner. Like I mentioned, we monetize in a number of ways. Number one, we have sponsored content, right? The fact that the decision maker is using us at the point of purchase, right, is a prime eyeball, and as a result, brands like Square used us to present content to our users. Number two, we enable our user base to leverage their own data to run a more efficient business, right? Today we see that in restaurants, the point of sale data is managed in one set of metrics. The inventory data is siloed and also managed with another set of metrics, and your purchasing data is also siloed and managed by somebody else, right? What BlueCart provides is an integrated solution, right, where inventory and purchasing are communicating with each other, and as a result, we're starting to see and provide evidence to our user base about how much waste they're having internally, what's the perishability rate, what are their yields, and even theft. We're also in the process, this does not exist today, of providing payment processing, the ability to transact and pay through the platform, as well as an array of financial products associated with the purchasing, yes? These are some of our users. You will recognize some logos in this slide. But nonetheless, couple of weeks ago, one investor asked me and my co-founder, why do your users care about BlueCart, right? What's the fundamental reason that somebody should pay attention about BlueCart? We didn't have an immediate answer. We wonder, what is the fundamental, right? And obviously a fundamental in a business is staying alive or not, right? So we started doing some research on restaurant closure rates across the US and restaurant closure rates within BlueCart users. Like I mentioned, we have several thousand users in our user base, so we do have a significant sample size. And what we discovered is that BlueCart users versus BlueCart non-users, right, faced a much less likelihood of going out of business. Over the last 2 years, we've seen 0.1% of our user base go out of business. That is in almost 2 years, right? During that same time period, the percentages of restaurants going out of business nationally is multiple fold that number. Now, claiming attribution over that statistic obviously is not fair, but what it does say, it says something really important about our user base, right? It's saying that a user base that cares about their data, a user base that cares about food waste, a user base that wants to leverage their data to better run their business, right, faces a much less likelihood of going out of business. And that is it. Thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.